Change your headphones, Sergeant.
Attention, attention all drivers.
Of course, we're going to hear from Sergeant Henry first, and then we're going to open the lines and hear from you guys. Number to call that time will be 465-2555. That's 2555.
Too many stunt drivers on the road, man.
Sergeant, good morning and welcome once again.
Good morning, Jackie, and how are you?
I am good. Porco, as they put it. Porco.
Thanks be to God.
Yes, ma'am.
This morning, my topic is traffic accidents. Well, I heard the news this morning talk about accident, but I had that in mind even before.
Okay.
Yes, and we are seeing an increase in accidents. For last week alone, traffic department, I'm not speaking about the outstation, traffic department dealt with about 24 accidents just in 1 week.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. That's more than
yes.
That's yeah, I understand.
We had a fatality, we had some serious, and we had none injuries.
The question to you, Sergeant. As a matter of fact, I'm going to let you make your presentation and then I'll ask the question. Go ahead.
And a traffic accident is defined as a collision involving one or more vehicles. It can also involve other moving objects such as pedestrians or cyclists. Traffic accidents are also frequently involve fixed objects such as trees, wall or parked vehicles. Some common behaviors of road drivers which lead to accidents are overspeeding. Most of the fatality accidents occur during overspeeding. Drunken driving. We have distractions of drivers. We have reckless driving, and we have persons jumping the red light. Because once you have a red light and you come through, somebody have a green and they're already on the way. Fatality, as I said, from overspeeding. Once you speed, you don't have much control of that vehicle. Once you speed, you have less control of the vehicle. And distraction, even just talking to someone in the vehicle, eating, or doing something abnormal, you not have the correct vision of the road because you're distracted from something, distracted with something, so you don't have that vision of the road. So once you do these things, we will always have traffic accidents. And accidents are classified in 4 classes. We have non-injuries, where you just have maybe a back, a rear, bumper to bumper. We have slight, where the person might be, say they have a pain in their back or whatever. We have serious, once a bone, or somewhere of you, and you have to be hospitalized, that's serious. I mean a fatality. Rear collision are sometimes the most common accident, because you're going in a parking lot and you're not looking what you're doing, you could light somebody's vehicle, and those are the most common one we have. If you're driving, make sure you leave 2 car lengths between you and the person. If the person's vehicle have to stop for something, maybe some malfunction or something, you have enough time to act. If you're too close to the person and the person stops suddenly, there you cause an accident. But once you leave a space between you and the person in front of you, we'll have less accidents.
Is that it? Or
and for the year so far, we have 4 fatalities. District B have 2 and District A have 2. Nevis Division doesn't have any.
we're going to open the lines 465-2555. That's 2555. And while we wait to hear from our listeners this morning, let me ask you this question. But as a matter of fact, we do have a call, so let's take this call. Good morning. Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jackie.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sergeant Henry.
Good morning, Sonny Boy.
I'm calling to spread my condolences to my dear friend Nick. I know him since he was a little boy. We grew up together in West Bumgut. And I don't have a comment about the traffic. I'm just calling because I'm very saddened about Nick. I know him since we were boys. going in West Bongat. And Mr. Jiku, my sympathy and my condolences go to you and all of his family. Nick was a nice guy. Thank God for me. Amen.
Appreciate you taking the time out to share your condolences to the friends and loved ones and to his co-workers as well, man. All right, let's go back to the phone line. Good morning.
Morning, GQ.
Hey, good morning, Culture.
Yes, and good morning, my boss.
Good morning, PWO.
He too, you know. He who next to you, he got me uniform them every year.
Okay.
He gonna bring them and he ain't bring them yet.
That is bad.
Yeah, terrible. Summons him.
Okay.
Now, I heard you mention the statistics, the stats of the accidents and whatnot. And, you know, we've been talking about the lot of accidents today. What do you one of the reasons, what do you think, apart from mechanical failure, causes a lot of these kind of accidents? Because look at the one boy, Conyers. The guy who get the most severe impact in that accident. He died. And then the youngster who get in the accident, who was in the vehicle in Halfway Tree, when two vehicles collided, the youngster from Sadlers, he passed away. Now, sometime the last week, imagine on Greenland, you know, between the cemetery and West Bongot, a vehicle gonna get in such a serious accident? Well, I know if you drive into the right speed that you require to drive on the road, a vehicle wouldn't get in them kind of accident, like to turn over and ram into wall and mash up so bad. But you see, people will break the law because they don't care. That's number one. And number two, the penalty for people when they commit certain crime on the road is not harsh enough for them to deter and stop it. They just don't care. And again, I am calling on the police high command to deploy a lot of police on the road where these accident nastiness happening. People just driving worthless. And anybody just see driving worthless with negligence, charge them heavy, penalize them. That's all I got to say for now. I have a lot more to say, but I'm so vexed. Thank you all very much for listening.
All right,
Thank
man.
you, caller.
PWOP.
Don't respond yet, Sergeant. Take note, please. Good morning. You're live.
Hi, good morning.
Good
How are you
morning.
doing, Jackie?
Hey, I'm good, Bucky. Morning to you.
Yeah, and good morning to Sergeant Henry.
Good
I
morning.
have just two quick comments, thing to say. One, as you mentioned, there has been an increase in traffic accidents, and I know because I'm Bucky got it. What can the traffic department, or what will the traffic department be doing to curb or to reduce these traffic accidents? What about different roads? Because it's a fact that more and more people are wanting to have their own vehicle, which means that it's an increase in the amount of vehicle on the road. Maybe you could let the public know how amount of vehicles are registered thus far for the year. The reason why I ask about road, because most persons tend to use the same route from point A to point B. But there are other alternatives. I'm not sure if they are aware of them. But in any event, changes need more roads. Have the traffic department put forth anything to the government in terms of improving road safety? Also, I mentioned it before, but I just want to bring it up again. Normally, when you have a traffic accident, the traffic is being diverted. Most times, persons do not know where they are going. It is important when this happens that the traffic department or someone at least know directly where the traffic is going. Because there are instances where you have to drive to people's yard, which is not fenced, and sometimes get embarrassed. So that's something that I want you all to look into. Whenever the traffic is being diverted, make sure persons know where they are going. Most times you'll see a turn right or turn left. And then that's it. Thank you very much. Keep up the good work, Mr. Lee.
All right, I'll let you respond to those two callers before we take any more.
Yes, with the accident that Culture spoke of. Yes, something like that, you have to be that the person was speeding. Because a collision like that, for the vehicle to overturn, the person couldn't go in at a normal speed. If you're going at a normal speed, and we know in built-up areas 20 miles, 20 miles could have never caused that. So that person was either reckless in driving or speeding.
So they will be charged.
Yes. With Bucky's question now, where more roads need to be
Implemented.
I can't say of that.
You
That
can't
will
say
have
you
to-
can't say you agree.
Well, because I think they have the roads already marked out.
Okay.
And saying it's not getting any bigger to say that we can put in extra roads.
Okay.
With the diversion of traffic, sometimes it's easier to divert, or if there's no way to divert the traffic, what the traffic department or the officers will do is take the measurement first, so the other vehicles can move freely.
I don't think that's the question. I don't think that's the problem in question. The problem in question is when you divert the traffic.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes, when you divert the traffic, if you go into somebody yard, then that is wrong. But it's better that you divert to get the free flow of traffic. Or what you can do,
Not to
take
be
measurements.
not to be argumentative. What he's saying is maybe should get extra police officers in that route
sometimes we'll
to,
have.
to let the traffic know. Okay, well, hey, you might not be familiar with this area. You need to go this because he's saying that he has been in situations where traffic was diverted, but no one was there to guide the traffic. So if you knew the area, you knew. But if you didn't, it was a problem.
Sometimes we do that, but sometimes we're short staff.
Okay.
As long as we have persons on hand, they will go. But if we're short staff,
so that
we might get help from Bastille.
right. So you're not ruling out the idea then.
No, I'm not.
Okay, great. Let's go back to the phone line. Good morning. You're live.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
May I speak?
Yes, you may.
There's something about the lot of motor vehicle accident that the government and the people make the legislation got to take into consideration. Every accident causes state a lot of money. You know? And when you got 24 accidents in 1 week, that is a very big bill on the public person. Also, very early in his tenure, I heard the young agent there, Garth Wilkins, said about a system of merit and the merits for drivers. I wanted him to very quickly put the legislation on the books to handle that matter. Another thing about driving, I have always suggested that when these accidents take place and they go to court, the people who are at fault, they go for paid psychological counseling. You know, you have Alcoholics Anonymous. People send for counseling for gambling habits and for anger management. And I really believe that these reckless drivers who, to me, intend and turn our good country into a wild kingdom, they should be sent for psychological counseling that they have to pay for. Thank you very much.
That one is a loaded statement and suggestions as well, so I'll let you
The
respond.
suggestions are noted, psychological counseling, and there's a fee. We cannot charge more than what the law states. So you cannot charge them more than what the regulations state. Because for reckless driving, the person can fine up to $5,000 or imprisonment with or without hard labor for a term not exceeding 6 months or both, fine and confinement. So we can't go above that. So each class of accident has the fine. It's for the legislators now to go and increase that.
Let's go back to the phone. Oh, wait, before we go to the phone line, he made a statement about the cost for accident, which is weighing on the public purse.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Is if the person is injured and they have to go to the hospital. But once, as I said, it's a bumper to bumper. That's the person, and the person have to work out that. It's not really the state. but it's the injuries now when they go to the hospital. And most of these accidents were non-injury.
Okay. Let's go back to the phone line. Good morning, you're live.
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
What I'm calling about is that police, they are aware of certain areas that people park and it is causing accidents and they put yellow lines. But they don't go back to see what is happening. And the people ignore the yellow lines and just park up. And you're driving, you're in the junction, you want to come out, you do not know if you must come out. You take a chance and you come with something speed up. Knock your front off. What the police need to do is to have more surveillance on the road so that it can prevent some of these things from happening. I think they need to look at that. Because you put the yellow lines, it doesn't mean anything to the people. They're ignoring it and they're still parking up there. I'm talking especially there by the Chinese in St. Peter's.
All right, thanks for your call. Thanks for raising that.
Junction is very dangerous. And you're coming out there, you don't know if you should come out. Because this long line of cars, you don't know what is happening. There's something flying coming out as soon as you come out. Cause an accident, and I see accidents happen there. The police need to have people patrolling there more often.
Before you go, that is John England Village you're speaking about, right?
Of course.
Okay.
All right, thanks for your call. Let's take this next one. Good morning, you're live.
Hi, good morning, GQ and Sergeant Henry.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm a resident of Keys, and I really think that you all need to put pedestrian crossings in Keys, and I think the police need to be in Keys a little more often. God, man, too much crazy driving. And the way I'm living on the seaside, my house is the last house for a while. And the crossing, the sidewalk, when people reach by my gate, they cross over to the other side. Because there's a corner on my side, so you can't continue on that side, you have to cross on the other side. So you can be out of the corner. But then the school children and everybody, people passing there. They have to get to cross. I think we need more crossings in Keys. Please look into it.
All right, thanks
Thank
for
you,
your...
Paula. That is noted, and also the one who spoke about the yellow line at John England Village. I've taken note of that, sir.
Okay. All right, missed that call. Let's try this one. Good morning.
Hi, I'm sorry for the call back. Just a moment. Now, this is matter about the public purse. Who pays for the gas when the police have to go up and down? And the ambulance? It all falls on the public purse. And sometimes you don't have to listen when people are speaking, I said everything has to be backed up by proper legislation. The laws must be put in place to handle these reckless drivers on the road who are intent on making things very dangerous and making the country wild kingdom. We have a tourist economy, We don't want to be known as a nation of reckless driving with fatalities, a lot of accidents. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Before you answer that, I'll let you answer. Go ahead.
Yes, with the gas you're speaking about, police have to patrol anyway. So the gas is used, but once they're patrolling, sometimes they're patrolling and an accident occur. They just respond to it.
So there's not any extra added cost for...
Not sometimes.
As it relates to suggestion, here's one coming in for you right now. This person is suggesting that we might have to take a step back and deal with the mindset, or look at the accident, or should I say, look at the mindset of these individuals who are getting into these accidents, and not only these individuals, but the individuals who are signing up or going to get a license. This person is indicating maybe we need to step backward and take a look at a different process in terms of how we evaluate the drivers before putting them on the road. Apart from just, putting them out to do the road test and the written test, maybe we need to add other process to identify issues like mindset issues as it relates to the road, to prevent these young drivers coming onto the road and getting licensed and causing problems. So this person is indicating we need to look at the process of learning and the licensing that is obtained, that phase aspect. That's just a suggestion coming in.
Okay, I take note of that.
Let's go back to the phone line and say good morning to this caller. You're live.
Yeah, Jacob.
Yes, man.
Yeah, let me answer the question here. When a person goes for their license and the police is in the car with them, they are the most behaved person on the earth, you know, and the most law-abiding person on the face of the earth. But as soon as the police say, okay, you qualify and you have your license, there is where they start to break law. Break law. Now, some years ago, they used to have a habit between St. Paul's and Deep Bay on the stretch of road. Every Sunday afternoon they used to go over there go race. And I know of one friend, his car, his newborn car, way buy expensive. His younger brother take it up and mash it up. And he stopped and a lot of them stopped. But now it started again. Cross Whitegate. Racing, all kind of vehicle racing, pop wheeling, all kind of foolishness out there. So I am asking, let the police them go around the island as often as they can, and they will catch them doing them foolishness, because innocent people could get hurt, and they do get hurt, and it is not right, because when a person is innocent and they get knocked down by those ignorant people, they're in the bed so long, and then the case can take years before it could try, and by the time the case ready to try, that person might dead. So I am asking police, please patrol where you all can when you all have the time. Otherwise we're going to have to get the whole police force, name Miss Rose, except Miss Henry and Miss Jukio. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you, caller. Yes, but each district have a police station and they patrol, so traffic don't have to go around the island to patrol. As I said, traffic deals with West Farm, that's before the nursing school, and as far as Canada Estate. Traffic department control that area, part of Frigate Bay and part of St. Peter's.
While I'm inclined to agree with culture, the reality of that what he's suggesting is almost impossible.
With what, the patrolling?
In terms of, having that for every incident that can happen. However, though, I realize the mindset issue has been overlooked twice. The doctor, I think it's Dr. Warner, brought it up, and there's an individual who brought it up in terms of implementing some sort of psychiatric tests
on
persons to be, implemented as a part of the process while learning to drive. I know that is something that has to go through legislation, but if the police department agrees with it, that something can be pushed. So I would like to hear from you if you agree with that being a process being implemented in the learning process.
Yes, I agree, but then the thing is, yes, they're going to put, as culture say, they're going to be the best on the best behavior. Remember, persons can do things and make you believe that it is so. And they're going to be on the best behavior, and as soon as they get the license, they're going wild.
All right.
Yes.
So it's a hit or miss.
Yes, because even if we do that, as soon as they get the license, they're gone.
Okay.
Some people just want a license too. And also, when culture spoke about this thing in Whitegate, there's an offense that says racing speed trial. Any person promotes or take part in a race or trial of speed between motor vehicles on a road shall be liable on summary conviction for a fine not exceeding $2,000 or to imprisonment with or without hard labor for a term not exceeding 1 year, or both such fine and imprisonment. So when person think they're speeding or they're racing, there's something on the book for that. And once you get caught, you can be tried for that.
I understand what you're saying, officer, and I'm not refuting that at all. So, for the sake of not being argumentative, let's go back to the phone line and let's take this call. Good morning, you're live.
Good morning, Mr. Libert. Good morning to you. Good morning, Mrs. Sophia Henry.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Great minds think alike. Mr. Libert, I thank you very much for at least saying what you just said. However, the taxi and tour business and operators, we cannot get a license unless a medical physician, medical doctor makes certain recommendation and exam are being taken. Obviously,
oh really?
It's across the board. It'll be across the board. And like what you said, I'm glad that you'd said so, and I didn't get a chance to say it before you because you are in the company of Miss Henry, very close. So she don't necessarily have to make it noted. She could remember it and take it to the authorities, as they always say, and hope that something they can see or hear and better understand the significance of how and what people see it, possibly to at least try to make everyone safe in the roads, in the streets, etc. And I just wanted to ask Culture, I know he's listening, are you looking at Tour de France? My brother, today, stage 5. You have a good day and goodbye. Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a good day.
You're
Bye-bye.
welcome, man. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good morning, you're live.
Good morning, JQ.
Good morning, sir.
I hate to be calling the radio 7 to 7 in one morning. You know, and the biggest problem we have in this country, people don't like to listen. And sadly, I said something a while ago on the radio, and apparently I will not listen. I said, when I get into an accident, or people get into accidents, the matter goes to court, and that they're found to be at fault for drinking, whatever in the road, they need to be sent for paid psychological counseling. The same for Alcoholic Anonymous, anger management, gambling, etc. Do you understand me clearly now?
Yes, and I have that, sir.
I am not asking for any psychiatric evaluation at the time we get in the driver's license. Because one of the things that I'm really teed off very much in this country, you know, how could somebody who can't read go and get a driver's license and do a written test? That tells a big story, you know. People can't read doing a written test and going down the road. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlo.
Any other comments? Oh, okay. Let's go back to the phone line. Good morning, you're live.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Jokia. I finally got it.
Nice.
I'm going to address this to the sergeant. Sergeant Henry.
Hi, morning.
No, yes, they have, okay. If somebody going to produce a product, whatever it is, there are a number of factors that interplay. And they refer to them as factors of production. I'm not any scholar, but listen me carefully. Land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, or enterprise. Because three can't work without one, and one can't work without the other three. Now, I say that, I use that analogy because a place like Singapore, which I've been following for a very, very long time. Singapore is an overcrowded country with vehicles, but because of their technological development, they were able to develop systems how to control the traffic through the electronic systems and so on. So when you want to go anywhere, you have to plot your path, where you want to go. Okay, they are sophisticated countries, so we could learn from them, but that's not in your path. But I said that to say, sometimes I hear you, the police, say how many vehicles arrive monthly, sometimes twice monthly. So if you're having more and more vehicles on the road, well, you have to recommend you have more police officers, especially in traffic. And traffic people should work in the night too, not just whatever time in the morning till whenever in the afternoon, because the island don't sleep. And now I can't do what Culture was saying. I understand they're racing over somewhere Frigate Bay area too, you know. So they used to do it already, Peninsula, Frigate Bay, and then now they and now what they call the place on the down the Bay area down there, Whitegate. Yeah, they used to do that already. And there was a time they even used to invade the airport one way, late in the night and wait. Maybe you don't know that, because I believe you're a young, very young person. But anyway, lastly, there was a time in New York City, he was getting overwhelmed by crime. Mayor Giuliani hold the thing by the scruff of his neck, as we say in local parlance, and recruited, let me use this kind of term, to a hell of a lot of police officers, some even more on horseback, some on motorbikes, some on bicycles, but not one man with bike. You had to say to them. And they brought that under control. No, I'm not saying we have resources like them, but it arrived to a situation now that need more police in the force. And when you all collect information, you should send it up to your seniors, and then they themselves make recommendation to the minister in charge, hence the government, because we need more police officers, and we want sensible people in the force. Because a lot of policemen, I really wonder how they get in there, because I wouldn't talk to them a second time. Some things happen to me and a few of them. So anyway, but I still think you're making a good effort. But and some things that the doctor said a little earlier, I'm in full support. We got to hand, you see, the fines that you call out there. A lot of common people handle a lot of big money, you know, from all kind of means, you know, so that there's small money for some of them. So when all these should be recommended. When I realize incentives people don't like change, you know. Change for the better, not for the worse. And all these are things to help to keep things curb. You curb things by doing certain things, certain penalties and so forth. But anyway, let me not prolong you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Carlo.
All right, we're going to wrap it up here. We are 2 minutes over our time. It's time for 9 o'clock report. Compliments to Grange. But to add to what that gentleman was saying, last suggestion is coming in, and this is about the process for teaching, and they're suggesting maybe we should infuse things as road worthless, ethics, and courtesy, etc., as a part of the process. Over to you, Sergeant.
Before I leave, I just want to leave this with the general public or those who drive. Exercise patience. Many accidents are caused by impatient drivers who are rushing to get from point A to point B. While time is certainly a valid consideration when traveling, safety is even more important. Because if you speed to go somewhere and you get an accident, you still have to wait. So once you exercise patience, you're going to get where you're going. And if you're late, you can't be later. So take your time while driving on the road, because the life you save might be your very own.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sergeant. I almost called you Inspector. Maybe it's coming around the corner.
Thank you.
And thank you for listening. Thank you for watching and being a part of our programming for today. We'll be back next week, same time, same place, for another edition of On the Road. Coming up next, it's 9 o'clock report. Well, it's past 9 now, but it's still up next. Compliments to Grange.